welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, coming to you live from the Crescent City, New Orleans, Louisiana, with my friends
Monica Scott
and Alex Luchun.
What's up, y'all? How are ya? How's everybody feeling? We just had an inexplicable delight, at least as it was explained to me, and then after I had it, my world came alive, and that was a pho wing.
Mm-hmm. They were so good.
So good.
We went to, was it Bon Mi Boys?
Bon Mi Boys on Airline
Woo, buddy. And,
in Kenner, Louisiana.
America's Playground.
That is my bit.
It was explained to me before we went, and I was like, I can't even imagine what this is going to be. And goddamn, they found the delightful taste that is pho, the delicious noodle concoction, somehow transferred that flavor right into a fried chicken wing, and boy, blew my mind.
Yeah, it was like biting into a little crunchy piece of pho.
It does seem like a sin.
Yeah, it should not be possible. I was on my way into town and remember that we have a bit that we do on this show, which is try to find an ungodly concoction along the highways and byways of America. And coming into New Orleans, I was like, shit, I didn't find an energy drink, so I decided I was gonna, go peruse. And the best way to find the really weird stuff is to either go to a gas station out in the middle of nowhere. But I was already on the other side of the Pontchartrain bridge, so I was already kind of coming into the city when I realized...
You are still going to a gas station in the middle of...
You think so? Okay.
Absolutely. This is one of those supply chain islands where we're still getting Rip It fuel and all this stuff that they don't even give to soldiers anymore.
Ooh. We've done a whole expose on Rip It. Boy,
yeah. That shit's like currency.
It's still unexplained as to why their pina colada flavored is called Putin Power. But it's spelled Pootin, but doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I figured, I was like, well, I'm going to try to find like a GNC, because a lot of times the General Nutrition Center will have a wide variety of strange bullshit.
Yeah, they really do.
And so I was texting and driving. I was on my phone searching for a GNC, and then an alternative came up, and it said grind. And I was thinking it's like some kind of gym thing, because a lot of times the best place to get weird energy drinks is at a place where you buy supplements, that kind of thing. And it said it was at a place called I think it was called Breakwater Drive.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, maybe it's like some locally owned business. I bet they've got some strange locally brewed.
It sounds like where a lot of Assyrian guys are just hanging out.
Well,
you stay busy, bro?
Yeah, it wasn't so much Syrian guys as just seagulls, because the road I was driving on ended in the lake. So
that's our off the highway sort of thing here.
The lost city of Atlantis has a place to buy supplements, because my GPS was like, this thing exists 0.2 miles in front of you, but I could clearly see there was a barricade that says don't go past that point, and then just past the barricade was the lake. So
yeah, this
place washed away or something, and they just still have amazing SEO because it still pops up as if it's a real place, and I double checked the address, and that's where it's supposed to be, but it just did not exist.
It's a submersible pop-up.
Yeah. It's a pop-up because
it's a bobber.
Yeah, it's a pop-up because it is on a dinghy. They just pull up.
Yeah, there's no supplement law there.
Yeah, it's not a pop-up, it's a blow-up. They actually blow up a raft and pull it up to the end of that dock. So, bereft of energy, I searched again, found just the GNC, went in. And this is a drink, I know we've had one of these before, from this brand, but not this particular flavor. So the brand is Beyond Raw.
Oh,
lit.
Wow.
Oh no.
And
first thoughts, this looks like it's owned by a contemporary church.
well, no, that's Bucked Up. Bucked Up is the one that we believe to be Mormon stuff.
Really? That's fun.
Because they're based out of Utah. So
they'll put their fingers in anything.
Yeah. Now, this one is bucking tradition a little bit, although I guess they have access to the greater Ohio, Mississippi watershed. So technically they could get to international waters. It would just take a while. Typically there's two types of energy drinks. They break down along one of two lines. Either it's like hippie-ish or aggro. This is definitely in the aggro category. And then along those lines, they break down into either they're bottled somewhere near international waters, or they're bottled somewhere near like the desert where they could have a standoff.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell based on where the energy drink is made how they imagine their company going. Are they going to go L. Ron Hubbard and go to sea, or are they going Pablo Escobar and they're going to have a standoff with the DEA? These people are based out of Pittsburgh, which that's a little bit.
They're going to fight a cop.
They're going to fight a cop, but they are distributed by GNC. So this actually is,
And they're cousins, so it's not a big deal if they fight.
yeah. Yar.
This looks like, to be honest, this can looks like I'm about to be sold on like a weird cryptocurrency that like by the time my money hits, it's down to zero.
Well, so this is GNC's in-house brand.
Oh.
So Beyond Raw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is made by GNC. It does have the phrase clinically dosed on the side of it.
Oh,
So
yikes.
So
Just like I'm buying fake weed at a gas station.
yes, yeah, exactly. This is the Delta 8 of energy drinks, or is it the what do they call that shit? The salvia. We'll see.
Okay, let's not down talk salvia. That's that's still a good time.
So the side of this, always just the choices pablum on the side of energy drinks. Built by science, driven by obsession, elevated through innovation. If it's on our label, then it's in our can. Get lit, train and focus, intensity and pumps.
So is this got BCAAs in it, doesn't it?
I don't know. It's got pumps though. We all are ready for pumps.
Do you ever get into the history of energy drinks? And
Yeah, so with a lot of these, they'll have kind of an extensive history. With this one, it is literally GNC.
GNC's
yeah,
cash
they
grab.
have white labelers now
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Right.
I used to live with the Rockstar Energy rep for the East Coast.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Rockstar because their history is it's the son of conservative radio talk show host Michael Savage.
Yes.
Whose middle name is Golden Cloud. Russell Golden Cloud Wiener. That is literally his name. And he ran.
That's my name too.
But yeah, and then they sold that to Pepsi like
Yeah.
minutes before the pandemic started.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
I mean, hey, they landed that plane perfectly. But this particular flavor, by the way, Beyond Dew. So shots
Okay.
fired. Shots fired at Mountain Dew. This is
It's
beyond
confusing that there's something beyond raw, because usually beyond raw just means like it's cooked. So it's not exactly. I don't know what they're trying to get, what they're saying with this tagline.
or if you go the other way, Beyond Raw, scratch.
There you go.
Made from scratch into raw and then cooked, or scratch. But who's to say? Let's hold on. Let's
I would argue that's artisanal.
hold on. This is everyone's favorite part of the show. Oh yeah!
Nice hiss.
Oh, buddy. Yes. Yes. Oh, it actually is dew colored. I will say because
It does have a bottled green tea sort of vibe going with it.
Oh my God, don't drink all of this.
no.
First of all, yeah, no, I'm gonna.
Alex does have
As the person who has to
a wine glass.
be next to you all night, I beg you not to drink all of this.
All right. What is Alex experiencing? How does it taste? How does
I haven't tried it yet.
how does it
but
smell?
It smells like Mountain Dew.
Wow.
Exactly to
I'm
me.
going to say that it does not smell like Mountain Dew. It smells like a lime forward lemon lime drink. So it is closer to a Sprite than a Dew. But it is
It's
it reminds me of the lemon lime snow cone flavor. I'm having my photo taken.
It's giving energy. It's giving abuse. It's giving bullying. It's
Okay. The flavor of it is definitely a full sugar. Ooh, mama.
wow.
Can I have that can? Can I see that?
Hell yeah. So it is one of those classic energy drink cans where they have intentionally made the text so small that you must actually have a magnifying glass to read it.
Okay, like all of the good energy drinks, number one, it has its own weird proprietary blend of stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this
Oh,
is 250
yeah.
milligrams per can. Okay, they're smart. One can, one serving. Mm-hmm. Anhydrous caffeine, so that's hitting quick. We've got L of ATP, which is ancient peat and apple extract. So you're telling me
Ancient Pete. That's that guy who won't shut the fuck up at the end of the road.
yeah.
Every time you go by Ancient Pete, he just won't quit whittling and talking about whittling. Boy, I tell you, whittling used to be different before cancel culture. They ain't canceled me for whittling. Well, I can't even talk about it because they won't let me in the country club no more. I'm Ancient Pete.
It used to be one man, one knife, and now it's all goofed up. You got people calling themselves a cat boy. Don't look like a boy.
Did you know they're putting litter boxes in the schools?
And I can't even get a litter box in my house for myself.
That's all I wanted.
It's also got Neurofactor trademarked with Coffea Arabica. So and fruit extract. This is just a caffeine extract.
I was gonna say I think that's just coffee.
That is literally just
Interestingly, the Mormon one, Bucked Up, they are like very strict on the side of being like, we have artificial caffeine, which is why we're like thinking it's very
interesting.
Because Mormons don't actually technically ban caffeine; they ban hot drinks, and they've looped coffee into that. But I think the workarounds and the fuel for the multi-level marketing schemes that wallpaper, the economy of Utah, is that fucking good old chemical.
Have you ever
caffeine.
talked about on here the culture of the sodi shops in Utah?
Oh no! What?
oh, they're great.
Tell me about it. Preach.
There's two that I know. I mean, I've never been to Utah, so this is purely an outsider's perspective from TikTok.
Okay.
So there's Thirst and Swig are the two big chains, and it's like there was a thing that went viral on TikTok a few months ago that was called like a Utah dirty Diet Coke, and it was that you took a Diet Coke and you poured coconut flavoring in it, and then vanilla creamer. Is that what it was?
So it was coconut
and lime.
It was coconut, lime, and cream.
Yes, but the cream was vanilla.
Was
I
it
think.
vanilla?
Yeah.
And God allows this.
And you listen.
Their God
it sounds
does.
fucked up.
I mean, hey, I'll try anything.
It
once.
was pretty good.
I bet. Yeah.
I mean, because it's sort of using the same idea as a root beer float, right? It's like
so
cream
good.
and soda. But people who work at Thirst and Swig started making TikToks when this went really viral.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, yeah, the sodi culture here is psychotic because these people line up at 7 a.m. Like knocking on the window to get in because this is their coffee.
Yeah.
Except it's like a full soda.
Yeah, because it's not just Diet Coke. Like that one is Diet Coke, but then they also have like a Coca-Cola base and a Mountain Dew base and a Dr. Pepper base.
Yeah.
And all these things.
So
So
this
they're
is
just
their like Frappuccino.
Dude, have you ever met people that are like morning soda people who
Oh yeah, morning Diet Coke people, they're usually
like construction guys? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were at a restaurant once and
Tour
I saw
guides.
a guy. Yeah, I saw a guy next to us be like, "Yeah, I'll take a Pepsi." And it was like, brother, it is 7 a.m.
What do you mean?
That's an afternoon drink.
I will say this: I fuck with coffee in the winter, but I do live in Los Angeles, so the winter starts in December and ends in December.
Yeah.
So I mean, on a hot morning when you got to go, be on the sun all day.
Yeah.
I'll go to McDonald's. I get that large Diet Coke. I don't give a fuck.
This man was in a restaurant.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What you're doing is practical. What he
Yeah.
was doing was a sin.
Okay.
But it is essentially just like, I mean, you can look up the menus for these places online.
Okay.
Which I highly recommend doing
Yeah.
if you just want to make yourself a little treat.
All right. Well,
It's nice. They're very pleasant.
And yeah, you can make them. You can make
You
them
can
at
also
home.
just go to a gas station.
But
Yeah.
it's
Any gas station.
It's Starbucks culture, but for Mormons,
Yeah.
as
Okay.
far as I understand.
The Amish, where I grew up, because I grew up very close to the Amish, not like emotionally, but just physically. They also like had the loophole where they would buy Mountain Dew. They wouldn't buy coffee, but they would always all of the younger men.
because it's fake, top to bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just they absolutely loved it. It was good
Yeah.
and delicious because it's
Well, it's like eating.
everyone wants it.
It's like eating turkey. There's no ruling in the Bible on turkey because the motherfuckers had never seen a turkey.
Yeah.
Lived on a different continent.
Yeah, of course you can't eat shellfish.
I'm sure if old school God was aware of tomatoes, he would have thrown down some laws because they're great, but he didn't know a fucking tomato. So, hey.
It's a fruit.
Yeah, yeah. There would have been a solid ruling on tomatoes had old God known about them. But what old God don't know about, old God can't rule on. Go back to the mountain and get back at me, old God.
I feel like I keep trying to rinse this out of my mouth and I can't.
It is very syrupy. It has a very syrupy kind of mouthfeel. It does think like crushed ice in this would be kind of nice.
I've never said this about any of these, and we've been doing this bit since 2020. This is challenging to get down.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Like,
This one's not bad. I would say this versus, let's say, a white sugar-free Monster. I used to crush those a lot, and I still think that they have a bad taste.
Yeah.
I just think I stopped drinking anything like this maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. And so now my mouth, like, I feel like I could feel the chemicals dispersing into my
That's
gums.
the Neurosin. The Neurosin allows for a much quicker uptake of needed nutrients and vitamins.
You got to watch out for that. Oh, there's one that's carnotine, there's one that's carnosin, and this one is neurosin.
Yeah.
So,
we used to buy so many weird energy drinks, me and my buddy Kyle, and we would also... I mean, I was a little bit more habitual in wanting the same effect every time, but I think he would buy the weird one-off ones, like Rain before it became Rain, when it was just like a 99-cent 24-ounce thing that you could buy at the gas stations that didn't have a name. They
Concept, the energy drink.
Yeah, exactly. And like just a whole bunch of like really weird products. Then Bang came about and it was like, okay, this one's a drug. This one's a fucking drug. Where they're like, it was like Redline 2 was another one that came
I
out around the
remember
same
Redline.
time.
Same company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, well technically you're only supposed to drink a quarter of it. It's like who's doing that?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
edibles that are like the size of a brownie. Like I'm eating the whole thing.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to eat a quarter of it. Sell me a quarter of it, Dad.
Yeah, that's how the whole energy drink that started with this was. Sam got me a Rainbow Unicorn Bang.
Yeah,
and
those
we
were good.
Sampled it on the show. And here's the thing. If I'm in a gas station and there's a million types of energy drinks before me, I will choose every one of them before Bang.
What is your favorite flavor?
My favorite just overall
Yeah.
is Ray's Baja Lime. My second favorite is...
Ray's Baja Lime?
Yeah. So check out
How do you spell it?
RAZE. Baja Lime.
I've never had that.
So check out. We tried it out on the 1994 episode, part 1, with Brandy Posey and Kyle Clark. So go listen to that. But that's my Rolls Royce. That's the top of the heap. Number 2 and number 3 alternate. So it's either 3D Liberty Pop.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
Which is the best of the bomb pop sickle flavors. All the other ones suck. And then the number 3 Cherry Slush a la Ninu.
Have you ever had my absolute
Wow.
favorite one was Rockstar Juiced
Guava?
Guava.
Oh my God, I did love
Here's
that
the
one.
thing. This was like a very drunken moment talking to my old roommate who was like the sales guy. And I was like, dude, I didn't know you. Because he was like walking around the house showing me pictures of him with like, the Hank 3 or whatever. As a Rockstar rep. And a whole bunch of dirt bike guys that are surely dead now. And I was like, dude, my favorite was, and it was like we were saying it in unison. We just said Rockstar Juice Guava. Yeah, I know. They changed the recipe and it's not as good as it used to be.
It's not as good.
It straight up was guava juice.
Yeah.
With like energy to it. And they were so good.
Yeah.
They would make, and the entire room you were in would just smell like someone was vaping guava in there. It was delicious. Purple can, gold accents.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the thing I remember about the Rockstar Juiced was I got one time, drank it, and then left the can in my car for like a couple days in the summer in Alabama.
Wow.
And then my car smelled like fruit juice for the rest of the summer. Like that smell, it was like I'd put a fresh air freshener in there.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it smelled like a basket of fruit at a farmer's market the rest of the summer.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
I used to wake up and I used to get a 24-ounce a Gatorade and the Rockstar Rehab, and
Oh
I would
my
drink half the
God.
Gatorade.
Man.
Then I would put the Rehab in the Gatorade.
So last episode, I feel like I opened a door to hell that I can't now close because it was so good. So we did energy drink oladas. And
Oh, wow.
So it turns out a standard Walmart issue ice tray is exactly one of these cans. Whatever this is, 22 ounces or 24 ounces.
It's like 14 ounces.
Yeah, so I got 4 ghost tropical mangoes and filled 4 ice trays, froze those, and then had some friends over to record a podcast.
Oh, wow.
And put those in a blender with some pina colada mix and a shitload of rum. And boy, we were cooking. Boy, that was a pod. We had a good old time. And sad to report, fucking delicious.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that is
Delicious
It's
on a-
unfortunate you know that now.
Oh, yeah.
That is a wonderful way to borrow happiness from tomorrow. It's a phenomenal way.
No, all things in moderation. I had
You're drinking 6 of those fuckers.
I mean, if they weren't so expensive, because that is at the end of the day, each of those ice trays is like whatever $3. So
Yeah.
you're like,
That sounds like a drinkable version of that drug that they blow into your face that turns you into a zombie.
yeah.
It sounds like something that where like you are completely cognizant in one layer of your psyche, and then the other layer of your psyche is gone.
I mean, I think that ultimately our entire generation is just reaching for the paradise lost that was For Loco.
Cocaine. Oh, okay, sure.
Or
Yeah.
for cocaine, but
Yeah,
for the college town segment
Yeah.
of us, For Loco. That's a thing everybody's trying to reach back to, and I damn near touched the sun.
I missed For Loco, but I worked at a liquor store when they banned it.
Was there a rush?
There was it was weird because we had some and it sold pretty well, and then there would be people who would be coming in and buying like a couple of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, they're going to make these illegal, and I was like, yeah, they probably oughta. And
Yeah, it's
Seems
looking at
like
you.
a good idea.
yeah, but I don't remember ever drinking For Loco.
never
I remember
had one.
trying For Loco because I think that was still in Pennsylvania and being like, this is disgusting. This is gross.
I was scared
People
of
would
them.
be like, yeah, well, it gets you fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
yes, I
okay.
mean, so does turpentine.
Yeah.
And that tastes delicious.
Yeah, I got a text from a friend of mine. They now have Sonic Ocean Water alcoholic seltzer.
Oh, wow,
I was
really?
like, ooh, that's a dangerous
funny.
proposition. I might have to try
Oh,
that down.
it took me a second. Not Sonic the Hedgehog. You mean Sonic?
Sonic.
No,
America-
the restaurant.
Sonic the restaurant.
Sonic America's Drive-In.
Yeah. That sounds. Is ocean water?
Isn't that almond? That
No, it's,
Flavor?
I don't
think so.
It's Sprite and blue coconut.
Oh, okay.
Curacao.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, but then
That sounds
It's in a
fine.
can and there's booze. in
Didn't we the last time we went to? Didn't we ask for the weird concoctions? That's the other thing. The soda culture you can actually get at Sonic. So if
Yeah,
you, go
you
to
can
Sonic,
you can make like specific requests at Sonic to basically create the Utah soda.
Yeah.
When we were staying in Ocean Springs, Mississippi for a little vacation,
it. Right next to the ocean water.
we drove to Sonic and we were like, "Hello, can we have a Diet Coke with coconut and vanilla and some cream and a lime?"
And they did
They were
not
like-
skip a beat and being like, yes.
Yeah,
you can have that.
pull around.
That's going to be $8, right?
Yeah. But it comes with
Is the most expensive thing you can get at Sonic.
but it comes with a free Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some literature out of
I
it.
do think it's better if you make it at home, though.
Yeah, well, I like to. I'll drive out to the racetrack gas station. And just put
I've
creamer
never
in a Diet
done
Coke.
that.
Yeah, no,
Just
it's
some creamer in a Diet.
yeah, a little Wicked Games playing in the background,
Oh, yes.
and I'm mixing that up
Ooh, man.
like I'm making shake and bake
I bought
meth
some
in a
of that
car.
that really that like for mixing cocktails, that coconut syrup.
Real
Oh,
coconut.
syrup.
That like
Yeah.
thick coconut syrup, and I used that to make some of those Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
It was intense. It was an intense time, but very good.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
I never had Four Loko, but I've had a lot of those Diet Cokes. So just if you want to know what my vibe is,
You're fine. That's I don't want to know what dark energy you would create.
me.
With, well, you'd probably just get smiley and then fall asleep.
Yes.
I think more than anything. But the thing is that Four Loko does not allow you to have that smiley phase. It just basically goes from like
You go from 0 to violent.
Yeah, like when like there's like that you're at a bar and it's like there's a turning point at like midnight when people are drunk and you're not.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh, okay. I remember doing a lot of this and now it doesn't seem the same."
Yeah. Well,
It's just that immediately.
I've always linked it to you're a car. Your brain is you inside the car. The car is your body. With Four Loko, like with regular alcohol, everything shuts down at the same time.
Yeah.
With Four Loko, you are thrown from the driver's seat, and now the car is just on its own, and it doesn't have a brain anymore.
Yeah.
In the Jewish faith, they call a body without a soul is called a golem.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
become a golem. Like a ghost is a soul with no body. A golem is a body with no soul.
Yeah.
That is what you become after a certain point with Four Loko. You are no longer in control at all. It is just pure id. And as it's something to witness. And you can recreate it. Just listen to our energy drink olata recipe from last week. Because, goddamn, yeah, if you want to become a golem, that's how you become it.
I don't think anyone needs help doing that. I think if you really want to, you can figure out your own recipes.
Yeah, but for $2 at a racetrack at a gas station,
that is a nice price point.
That's the thing. It was deadly. I mean, the fact that was allowed to continue in any way. This is why other countries look at us like fucking insane.
Yeah, we developed it like where normal countries kind of like get broken up, and then there's like a peace accord that they have, and then rebels take over, and then they can't get that document signed that's supposed to bring everybody back together again. Four Loko is the rebel group.
Yes, that is a
homemade Four Loko is the rebel group.
Homemade Four Loko.
I mean,
okay, well that's the thing, because after Four Loko got banned, right, there a bunch of people started making like recipes where they're like, all right, here's what you have to buy. They're like, you need vodka, caffeine. Here are the places to get it.
Pre-workout.
Yeah, pre-workout.
It's pre-workout and vodka.
What's so funny about pre-workout too is that like there is an entire community of people taking pre-workout to play video games.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, like Gamer Fuel and all that kind of shit is just BCAAs, and fucking L-theanine or L-citrulline or whatever.
Well, so like
that's what that is. Yeah,
all of these energy drinks, they're all made by like supplement companies, and essentially this is just like a very watered down version of their pre-workouts.
Yeah,
and they just sell this. So the profit they're making off of this is insane because it is just a small amount of the powder they sell right next to it on the shelf at GNC.
Oh,
so
wow.
They just sell
like
you
C4.
water. Yeah, C4. Yeah, I had one of those yesterday. The Skittles flavor. I'm an adult. Skittles.
Yeah, you've created a lifestyle for yourself that is insane.
Yeah, you are gas station people.
Yeah,
so one of the best, I will say, but gas station people nonetheless.
The king of the gas station people.
Yeah, I mean,
you are their ruler.
I had a Buc-ee's brisket sandwich for lunch. So
oh yeah, I was like, do you want to get dinner here in New Orleans where you just arrived? And you're like, no, I ate at Buc-ee's.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm going
3 hours ago.
I plan to hit it after the comedy show. Wait, I wanted to just right here issue an apology and to say I'm going to do this. I was supposed to have my final installment of my book report on Mike Lindell, the My Pillow Guy's book. What are the odds from crackhead to CEO? Part 4
Back to crackhead.
Part 4 was supposed to be today with y'all. And here's the thing: I did not bring the book with me from LA. The book is in LA.
I'll go get my copy.
Well, no. But here's what my thought was: the reason I didn't bring it is because I discovered a couple weeks ago that you can listen to the audio version for free on the website. So what I figured was, I was like, well, I got a 3 hour.
Chapter 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
I said last week, it's as if he's reading a story he's never read before. He puts no conversational skill into it. He's just like, on the third day of my bender, we were in Laughlin, Nevada. Now, the interesting thing about Laughlin, Nevada, and that is how he reads the whole fucking book.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, God, you have to pretend you're having a conversation with me for this to be in any way enjoyable. But I decided, I was like, well, the fourth section, we all know what's going to happen because we've already gone through the other 33 chapters of this book.
Oh, my God.
Where he's detailing all of his fuck ups. And like I said, he's the guy at the end of the bar just telling you bullshit stories. But the way I'm wired, I love a guy who's just full of shit. I'll listen to a guy who's full of shit all day. It's hilarious, especially if it's interesting. And in his case, a lot of it is, at least to me. But I figured the last part, the last book is literally called Jesus. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be boring. So
it didn't get to a point where it was like, you're just going to throw all this foam away?
yeah. Oh, that's already happened.
I could put it in a pillowcase.
Oh, I said last time there was a tremendous amount of foam talk in the last one. It's like, it was amazing how much he had to say about foam. So I just figured this part, what I would do is I would listen to it on the way, because I was driving from Baldwin County, Alabama to New Orleans today. I was like, that's about 3 hours. That's about how long the book is. I'll listen to it and then I'll just kind of rattle off. I'll be like, yeah, it was bullshit, the end.
Yeah.
But I can't do the audience like that, because it turns out that the last 11 chapters of this book are fucking crazy, and I need to actually sit down and take notes and do a real report, because this is where he meets Trump. This is where he somehow gets to the Philippines and meets Duterte, the dictator of the Philippines.
Well, you can just get a flight over there.
I mean, like he's running around with Stephen Baldwin.
Oh my God!
He marries a woman named Dallas Yoakum, who then divorces him after 20 days because he's too boring. Which is, after reading all this, I'm like, lady, he's a lot of things. Liar, insane, juvenile, fucking ne'er-do-well, boring, not one of them. I could listen to Mike Lindell all day. But yeah, so point is, I was like, I'll just like come out and rattle off some bullshit. I'm not doing y'all like that. So as soon as I get back to LA and actually get to sit down with the book and make notes, I will have my final installment on the Mike Lindell. But that is just to say, I have finished the book. It is fucking crazy right up through the end.
Oh my God.
And once this is all said and done, I'm going to have a little contest on Twitter. And whoever has the best response, I'm going to mail you this stupid fucking book. And then I'm going to mail you a t-shirt. So start thinking of alternative titles for this book. So whoever's got the funniest alternative title to "What Are the Odds? My Journey from from Crack Addict to CEO." Whoever's got that, you're getting a shirt and a bunch of stickers and the stupid fucking book, so I never have to look at it again.
Foam trumps rock.
Yeah. There we go.
You're gunning for the contest.
I need a t-shirt. I've been wearing this one for weeks.
He's not wearing one right now, folks. He's nude, actually. I used a phrase on y'all actually earlier that I heard in this book for the first time, which was a flight that he was trying to get on was sold out so he could go speak at a Trump event, and then he sent up a prayer flare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And
You used the phrase and it confused both of us so much. We talked about it for 4 minutes and that didn't come up.
I knew what you were implying, but at the same time I was like, what if I'm wrong?
We were like, wait, what is it?
well, you guys were talking about the bad police and emergency response times in New Orleans. I was like,
3 hours, folks, 3 hours.
What's the response time on a prayer flare? And for Mike Lindell, anyway, boy, they found him a flight, and he got to talk for Donald Trump, and then later for the dictator of the Philippines.
Jeez.
So, but anyway, that's what I've been up to today.
But what are his gambling methods?
Card counting. He learned it from a man named Val Spanos or something.
Okay.
A man named Spanos who, shout out to a friend of the show, Eric Nelson, got at me and was like, oh yeah, my dad took that guy's class in Minneapolis.
Oh, wow.
So it's a real guy.
So it's a guy that sells classes on how to do
Minneapolis,
that.
yeah. So,
Hold on, I'm writing this down.
yeah, I mean, hey, learn to count cards, man. Teaser for the finale of the Mike Lindell thing. He eventually gives it all up, folks. He doesn't need it anymore. He's just straight mainline in Jesus now.
God bless.
Yeah, we all knew that was going to happen, but I will say, man, right up to the very end, never boring. I mean, when the dictator of the Philippines wanders into the story, you're like, okay, well, and we've got what, 5 pages left of this? All right. And it was published in 2019, and he literally at the end goes, "To be continued." And I'm like, oh, so he hasn't even gotten to the election, COVID, nothing. Getting his ass sued.
Was he? I don't mean to take it here, but did he have any part in January 6th?
No, not.
Was he participating in that?
No, because he was busy financing weirdos stealing election machines from random counties in Colorado.
Great. So he was busy
he was
elsewhere.
busy. Yeah, he was doing the hard work.
I was just curious.
Yeah, he was getting. Didn't he end up getting some big cache of data? And he was like, "Oh, we're gonna read it live."
Cyber Symposium, August 2021. Oh yeah, who could forget?
my God.
My brain is goop. I'm so and not good Gwyneth Paltrow goop.
You've
just
ruined your mind.
straight goop. It's just energy drink of flabulum and not even a word, flotsam and this. So this is what my brain looks like now. I did good.
A beautiful mind too.
Yeah, but spelled T-O.
She call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it off you. I hush up my mug and you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew.
I wanted to say thank you to. I got so many messages when this story came out, and I wanted to share it with y'all. And like I said on Twitter, it's just really great to wake up one morning and have 1,000 people send me the same story, and everybody knows where my heart lives, and it lifted my world. So this is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, out of WGHP, the local station there. Did you know that Texas Pete hot sauce is made in North Carolina?
No.
Well, a Los Angeles man says he didn't, and now he has filed a class action lawsuit against Winston-Salem-based T.W. Garner Food Company for false advertising.
Oh, wow. Because he thought Pete on the bottle was a real guy, or what?
Yes.
He thought the inside container, like the hot sauce itself, was Pete.
Yeah. So now
So it's Texas Pete.
yes.
This does feel like a patent troll sort of guy.
A little bit. It also feels like at any moment he, might sue the estate of C.S. Lewis because Narnia is not real.
Yeah. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Go back.
He's mad a fake guy is not really from Texas.
Oh man, who's gonna rope my doggies now?
So Garner Foods acknowledged in the suit in a statement to Fox 8, quote, "We are well aware of the current lawsuit that has been filed against our company regarding the Texas Pete brand name. We are currently investigating these assertions with our legal counsel to find the clearest and most effective way to respond." So they're basically like,
We're investigating that we're not from Texas.
right. Or they're investigating, can we give this man $1,000 and a pack of crackers to go away?
Please?
No, you cannot.
What would this take? According to the complaint, Philip White was at a Ralph's in Los Angeles when he bought a $3 bottle of Texas Pete back in the summer of 2021.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, there's a million Ralphs in LA, but I'm like, this could only be
The rock and roll Ralphs?
the rock and roll Ralphs. This is the only place where there's people crazy enough to be like, wait a minute, I got a lawsuit on my hands.
Yeah, he walked there from Guitar Center.
He did. Yeah, no shoes. Not because he doesn't own shoes, but because he's one of those, like, I like to feel the earth, man, and all the little shardies that get in my toes. Quote, White relied upon the language and images displayed on the front label of the product, and at the time of the purchase understood the product to be a Texas product, the complaint said. The label includes the famed white Lone Star from the Texas flag, together with a lassoing cowboy images White's complaint says are distinctly Texan.
I mean, cowboys are from a lot of places.
And also, I mean,
Also, he's like a little yellow cartoon.
Right.
I don't think Texans need some guy from California telling them where they're from. Honestly,
Yeah. And also,
move to Austin, asshole.
Yeah. And also, it's like drinking Baja Blast and be like, wait, this wasn't made on that little peninsula what hangs off Mexico?
I'm sorry, Frank didn't make this red hot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
There's no crystal in this bottle.
And what would the damages even be here?
So,
Just probably like,
I'm a little confused.
yeah, overall confusion.
so to his shock, he later discovered that Texas Pete is not actually a product of Texas, and, quote, there is surprisingly nothing Texan about them, the complaint said. From the ingredients to the style, he might have an argument. Texas Pete is what's considered a standard Louisiana hot sauce. Louisiana-style hot sauces are defined by their ingredients, namely vinegar, chilies, and salt, which pureed and fermented Tabasco, Frank's Red Hot are also Louisiana-style hot sauces. There is no such thing as a Texas-style hot sauce, the complaint says. And I'm
Yeah, is there not?
don't know
No,
if there's a-
it's like
salsa.
Mexican.
Yeah, exactly,
It would be
yeah.
like Tex-Mex.
It's
which
salsa.
is
Yeah, it'd be
That's
it'd
what
be
it is.
salsa. Yes. What makes Texas hot sauce is ingredients from the Lone Star State with a uniquely Texan flavor profile. While the complaint doesn't outline what,
Yeah, what would that profile be? Smoky?
Yeah.
What, a Texas profile?
Yeah, Texas flavor profile in a hot sauce.
Overly self-important.
I know. I knew this was setting up for a joke, but I was genuinely. I am being very serious about this.
While the complaint doesn't outline where Texas Pete gets its ingredients, it says the ingredients do come from, quote, sources outside of Texas. It's an obvious question, and the brand even acknowledges that it may be confusing to some. The hot sauce brand's website highlights a December 5th, 2013 article from the Triad Business Journal, pulling out a sentence, quote, with a name like Texas Pete, one would think the hot sauce is manufactured somewhere in the Lone Star State.
That is so silly.
Yeah.
I literally can't imagine what the damages would be. I feel like people are suing more than they used to.
Well,
Like
yeah.
we're back to like 90s levels of
yeah.
silly lawsuits.
That really opens up a lot of possibilities for me, though, in some ideas that I have. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
I also
And if
like
you do, I'll fucking sue you.
false advertising, quote unquote, is like
That's boomer shit.
right. Yeah, that's like when someone in the break room at work is like being like, they can't. That's illegal. They can't make you do this, and you're just like, what are we gonna do?
Do you mean a little redheaded girl ain't making my square hamburgers? Like, it's like
If they can't make her work, she's 15. It's illegal.
yeah.
That
Get her
never
out of
happens.
here. Get her out of here. Get her out of the kitchen. She's not supposed to be back there. She doesn't have a work permit.
We went to the Tabasco museum once, you know,
Hell yeah.
as everyone who lives here does eventually.
Yeah.
Avery Island.
It was basically a museum about barrels.
That's all it
Not
was.
much
it really
else.
Was just that.
Every room you went in, they're like, here's some more of the barrels we use.
'Cause it's not like it's not like a huge active space. It's just one barrel to another. And you're
Yeah.
not allowed to be in those rooms.
Yeah, they won't let you in the room. It's just like a little cage, like an old timey jail, and you like look through the window and go, yes, I see these barrels.
Pretty cool stuff, man. Lots of free samples though in the actual like gift shop though.
They also like could spend the whole time in the like museum part where it's like, here's Mr. Avery's like or McElhenney. McElhenney is the
McElhenney, yeah.
family.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's his shirts or whatever. But then they really do like build up this whole story where they're like, yeah, so after the Civil War, the slaves just like really liked him and gave him this recipe.
Oh,
and
I'm
you're like,
sure.
oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's true.
Yeah.
But they do also make a really big deal to say that Avery was his father-in-law, the guy who owned the island.
Yeah.
And he just thought he was a fucking idiot and wouldn't trust him with the family business, so he had to figure something else out.
It's also funny that
was
Avery
so funny.
Island is like almost just a moat.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a little ring of water that goes around it that you could, if you had a running start, jump over.
Yeah.
So it's like an island in name only.
Yeah. on dry summers, it is a peninsula.
yeah. I guess it's a salt mine too, so whatever. You
Oh,
guys
hell
go
yeah.
on your own time.
Salt mine. That's where they bury.
Go and see the salt mine and learn about the barrels.
I was gonna say that's where
Yeah.
they bury the nuclear waste, empty salt mines.
Oh yeah.
It's great protection. The brand itself cites a legend. According to Texas Pete, Sam Garner and his sons, Thad, Ralph, and
Oh, man.
Harold,
I hate these guys already.
were trying to come up with a name
They
for their.
seem chill.
They were trying to come up with a name for their hot sauce when they turned to their marketing advisor. The advisor recommended Mexican Joe to connote the picante flavor.
Sorry, Jose.
Nope, Mexican Joe to connote the picante flavor reminiscent of the favorite food of our neighbors to the south. Nope, said the patriarch of the Garner family. It's got to be American. Sam
Yeah.
suggested they move across the border to Texas, which also had a reputation for spicy cuisine. He then glanced at his son Harold, whose nickname was Pete. Which you gotta love. You fucking should have named him Peter. You named him Harold, and you're like, no, that's a lame name, bro.
Yeah.
Your name sucks. It's like, you gave it to me, asshole.
Yeah, how do you get a nickname that is not related to your name?
It's just a
mean,
different
that
name.
isn't like an endearing thing. Like Buddy or Chucky or some kind of thing.
Harry. His name's Harold. Why wouldn't you be Harry?
The real story was that this kid couldn't leave his little wiener alone. And that's how they got to that. That's what it was, I assure you.
So the Texas Pete Cowboy was born.
Yeah.
So that's where the name came from. It's like, not Mexico, god damn it.
What
Texas
state were they in?
Pete.
They're in North Carolina.
Cal-
Oh, they're
Kakalaki,
in
baby.
North Carolina,
Yeah.
and they've always been there. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So,
Interesting that now there are no people I like in this story.
so the
yeah. There are no winners really, except for our taste buds.
this next sentence just fucking floored me when I read it. The complaint accuses Texas Pete of concocting a quote false marketing and labeling scheme specifically because it knows the state of Texas enjoys a certain mysticism and appeal in the consumer marketplace and is known for its cuisine.
Oh, who will
listen,
think of the states?
They are not wrong.
The latter part, they are indeed known for their cuisine. A certain mysticism is a fun way to put,
Texans are obsessed with themselves.
Yep.
and it's just dangerous seeming to most of the world.
I mean, I love Texas.
It's a great place, but I've never been more just on my heels anywhere. It's like, and I'm a fucking white guy, so
Yeah, it is fun when you go to a state as a white guy, and it's
even it fucks with you, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is
these are scary white people. These aren't like the Midwest types where like if you like insult them, they will cry.
Hey, I was doing
This man will shoot you.
I was doing stand up in a karaoke bar in Florida last night on a place that was a number after the words Bay Road. So I was there last night. That's the other place where you feel like that.
Yeah.
Bay Road number 12. And like, oh, and there's nothing. There's just water around this.
Oh.
Just water, dark water.
Good. I'm going to
You could-
leave kind
you
of
could
as
just
soon as I can.
You could just slip anything into that water. Just body anything. Okay. All right. Well, not doing all my hot political material out here. But White himself says that had he known Texas Pete wasn't made in Texas, he wouldn't have bought the sauce, and he would have at least paid less for it. Which is my favorite. Where it's like
He just wants a discount
it's
at the end of the day.
It's a $3 bottle, and also that's a lie, dude. Texas Pete is cheaper than that. It's a hair under $3.
Well, not at the Rock and Roll Round.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're paying that Hollywood rent. I forgot.
Yeah.
Go to Burbank Walmart, motherfucker. It's like $1.60 for a gallon of that shit. That's why it's my favorite hot sauce. Quote, by representing that its Texas Pete brand hot sauce products are Texas products, when they are not, the company has cheated its way to a market-leading position in the $3 billion hot sauce industry at the expense of law-abiding competitors.
How much market share could Texas Pete possibly
lot.
have?
I think it is a lot.
lot.
I think it's
Really?
Big time.
That's it's been my go-to since high school, and I know I'm not alone in that. And I think there is. I probably said this. There's a certain quotient of people who, at least in my part of the world, Texas Pete was the cafeteria hot sauce in school.
That's interesting.
And
I guess hot
I see it on
sauce.
tables a lot.
Hot sauce is based on region.
It's regional, and where I grew up in Alabama, they literally had a cardboard box of the Texas Pete hot sauce packets,
Interesting.
and fucking kids are psychotic. We would just grab giant handfuls of that shit. So it's just when I think just baseline hot sauce flavor, it is Texas Pete for me.
That's funny. It's Tabasco to me. Not that I don't like appreciate Tabasco more than anything else, but that was in California. I think that's like the common one, and that's the one that's like
That's
everywhere.
like the biggest market share. I'm pretty sure Tabasco has the biggest market share.
Is that
yeah.
right? Yeah. And, well,
So I remember looking it up after we went because I was like, oh, how much could they possibly make here?
yeah.
There must be like auxiliary like
Well, there was
factories
when we were at the Tabasco factory like museum thing, there was like a big warehouse area.
Yeah.
There was like a really big busy area that we're just like blocked off from.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I gotta say, it wasn't until I got to California that I started really fucking with Cholula and Tapatio.
Yeah, Cholula and
so good.
Tapatio are the ones that I've always preferred. Tapatio is the one I think I've preferred the most.
Yeah, that's my because Texas Pete's not that widely available in California.
Yeah.
so you have to get it from a Ralph's, so you have to go to the actual grocery store or to Walmart. So I typically like if it's just one on the table, I'll go with the Tapatio. But
That is funny though. Texas flavors it's just Mexican. I mean, because in Texas, I'm trying to think of what I've seen. I feel like I've seen Tapatio and Cholula.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think of like Mexican. I'm sorry, I don't think of hot sauces think of Louisiana hot sauce, right? Like
Yeah.
there's Crystal and Louisiana and all those ones that are kind of like just in this chunk. And then
Everywhere you go in Texas makes fresh salsa.
yeah, exactly. And if you ever go to a Mexican restaurant, ask for hot sauce, they kind of just
They're like,
look
"Shut
at you.
up."
Unless it's West Coast areas where you can get Valentina or something.
Yeah.
Or if it's a non-Mexican family-owned place, then they'll have hot sauces expecting like whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, man. And that's, I will say, when you go to like taco trucks, when you get, they'll ask you want the green or the red.
Yeah.
Man, that can really vary wildly.
Yeah.
Wildly.
You gotta
just out of this world.
you gotta
different.
You gotta know.
You got to know what they do at that truck.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you assume the green is the milder, and sometimes
means
you are
go.
fucking wrong. Sometimes they nuke that green shit, and
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's not delicious. I'm saying you're like, ooh, and you dump it all over your taco, and you're like, fuck, Jesus. So,
Oh, I've made a weapon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, shout out to the taco truck in front of the Ralph's in my neighborhood because their green sauce is actually tomatillo based and it is a little bit milder.
Yeah.
That's the way I hit, but I'll hit back and forth. I'll get one of each. You know,
Yeah.
if you get that red with the smoky chipotle, oh my god.
Or some of those greens that are like a little creamy, like maybe they have
like that.
the avocado.
Yeah.
It's got the avocado.
I like that a lot.
See, this is I woke up to this story. So many people were like, "This motherfucker loves hot sauce. He could talk about this."
Yeah.
Y'all know where our heart lives. White's complaint filed on behalf of all people of the United States.
boy.
Thank you, sir.
Who
I
have
salute you.
Who have purchased Texas Pete, asked the court to force Texas Pete to change its name and branding and to pay up.
North Carolina Pete.
TW Garner Foods has
North Carolina
Harold.
TW Garner Foods has until November 10th to respond to the complaint. So I'm sure they're shaking in their boots.
What happens if they don't respond?
I don't know.
Does it go to trial? I don't know how getting sued works.
Here's the thing: is that
Go to trial.
the only
That's
reason
criminal,
this has
right?
gone anywhere is because the
It's
lawyer
silly.
he has gone to has basically figured this is a slam dunk for me to make $1 million and
Yeah.
this guy to get 20 grand.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's immediately what this is.
Yeah, which
So
hey, in
they're gonna pay out.
In fairness, if a lawyer wants to make $1 million off of me and me give 20,000, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that's the deal that we're striking, I'll look ridiculous in a newspaper once and be made fun of by a comedian. It's fine.
They're gonna get this guy the help he needs either way. That's the thing. Either way, this man
Yeah,
is
he's
gonna
got
get
a sovereign citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a sovereign citizen, but only for like improperly labeled condiments.
Yeah,
not
for
that,
like
like,
annoying stuff.
Make sure now when you go in there, make sure that they don't have Texas Pete because technically under Texas Pete law they cannot arrest you.
Yeah.
It is an infringement.
Yeah.
The 17th Amendment says
The 17th Amendment, Darnell versus Texas Pete, says that they are not allowed to call it that. It is Mexican Herald.
it is an act of war.
What if they did just call it Mexican Herald? That's,
Yeah.
it's at least interesting. I don't know if it has the same ring to
They
it.
should just name it after
Mexican
that guy.
Joe. That was the original name they wanted to call it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Mexican Joe. Yeah, there we go.
They should really just name it after that guy and be like, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, there it is.
Marcus Greenbaum. Hot sauce.
Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. And I could waltz across Texas with you. Oh, buddy, now.
We're getting next to spooky season. Let's talk urban legends right quick, Alex. I want to hear what is the haunted place? What is your hometown first of all, and what is what's the haunted place or the haunted house, the haunted story, the spooky thing, the cryptid?
I don't know that there is one necessarily, but I grew up in a very small town called Millville, Pennsylvania, with a population of like 1,000 as the incorporated population of it. I graduated from high school. My high school class was 40 people. The entirety of the school was 700 people, so very small area. I can't remember a haunted house, but there would always be houses that had been abandoned.
Sure.
Okay, so this is probably a good example. Next to my friend Zane's house was a junkyard.
Oh, perfect.
And they owned like a sawmill, and it was a pretty large expanse of like area. But then behind it was like this big junkyard. And the guys that owned that used to live in the house that was like at the corner. But over time, no one really lived there anymore because I guess they moved. So that entire building was just slowly being abandoned in front of your eyes. So I remember that being kind of a scary place. I would say the more scary thing now is that there's like a group of dudes who sell meth in the town.
Sure, yeah. So
And-
it's everybody's horror story.
They ride dirt bikes and four-wheelers to go deliver it at night wearing
my
night
God.
vision goggles.
Oh my God.
Like it's
That's
fucking
scary.
Kandahar
Yeah.
in 2005. And
That's the thing, man.
they're just riding at night. You'll just hear like, wow, and like no lights, no nothing, and it's just these dudes delivering their methamphetamine in the cover of darkness.
I gotta say, a lot of times,
Why can't it be me?
a lot of times when people think of like Alabama, what they're actually thinking of is Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything you think about the South negatively is Ohio.
It's Ohio and
It's
Pennsylvania.
100% Ohio.
I will say that
Like they don't, their schools are bad, and like everything that you can really levy against the South truly is 100% Ohio.
phantom dirt bike sounds in the woods.
Yep.
Fucking nothing scarier. If you're by yourself, I'll tell you the most just like frightened, just unsettled I think I've ever been was, and just for obvious reasons, just because of the place, Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good. Yeah, that's a
How
good.
close
example.
is that to where you're from?
I used to. It's funny. I just thought of this yesterday. When my grandparents were getting much older, they lived in Maryland, and we would go to their house about every weekend.
Yeah.
Which meant that you would have to go from central Pennsylvania through Centralia, Ashland, then Centralia.
Ashland, fitting town name.
Yeah, oddly enough. Well, what's really funny about it is that the if you're not familiar with the story of Centralia, there was an open vein of coal on the surface that, according to the story, people were burning trash in this pit.
Yeah.
That trash lit the vein of coal underneath the ground on fire, which lit the entire mine on
that's
fire.
what that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
been burning since like the 60s, I
60s.
think.
Yes.
So fun fact, right near it, Mount Carmel. So that's where it's burning towards is a beautiful, luscious Mount of Carmel. But
It's gonna smell great.
that's another example of just watching a town deteriorate, because when I was growing up, we would drive through it and it would be lined with houses.
Yeah.
And then because they were all row houses from when it used to just be a mining town,
Yeah.
when you removed a house, because they were paying people off, they were like, hey, this is unhealthy.
This
It's
is
just
dangerous
tons
as
of
shit.
fumes.
Yeah.
You have to move. It'll make you sick. And a lot of people were like, fuck no, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
This is my house. I own it. So
Yeah.
you're not going to pay me anything for it. So they would tear down one house and put buttresses,
Yep.
brick supports on the outside. So for every time they would remove a house, there would just be these supports on each side of the existing house.
Keeping the chimneys up. and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Keeping the entire building up.
Yeah.
So you would go down there and there would be like a fire station and a couple of businesses and a little store. And there was this place called the Speed Spot, and they sold like high performance motor stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a building on the corner, and there were all these houses. And you go there now and it's all gone. Absolutely all gone.
There's 2 houses left.
There's 2 houses left.
and
There's
those people are like, "Fuck you! I will
Yep.
never leave." And you go there, and I heard this story my whole life, and I was doing some shows up there. I was like, "Well, I got to see this."
yeah.
Not taking into account that the whole place has been taken over by like marauding dirt biking children.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
And that's all that goes on there. And so it's an abandoned town with no structures. It's just the streets, cul-de-sacs, like you would imagine, but just 2 houses and that's it, but it's big. And there's a road called like the Rainbow Road where everyone has graffitied on this-
Penises.
yeah, just
Thousands of penises.
penises of every color and shade stretching off onto the horizon on
Yep.
this fucking road. I'll post a picture of this on Twitter when
I'll
I find
send
it.
you one. I have a photo I took years ago of it.
Man, and like it didn't even cross my mind. I was like, I knew it was going to be kind of spooky, but the unsettling thing was not the fact that there were no people there. It was that there was just like dirt bikes that I couldn't fucking see,
Yeah.
just whizzing in stereo 360 degrees around me. And I'm like, I don't know what these people's intentions are. I just know that I look very out of place.
Yeah.
So that road specifically, right, used to be a main road that went
Yes.
through it, but because it failed,
Yeah.
they had to build a road that circumvents it.
Yeah.
That misses all of that. So specifically, we used to drive that road to go down there.
Yeah.
But it was, and then one day it was like, oh, you can't drive down here anymore, and you have to go
Can't
around.
go
it.
down that road.
But the weird thing about that entire section was that you would drive down it, and if it had rained, if it had snowed, it would be nothing but melted dead trees.
Yeah.
So even if there was it had just rained or whatever, there would be steam
Yep.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it started to
weird.
eat up all of the what are they called, the cemeteries, and they were trying to move those bodies because they would just one day
Because it's all
whoops,
acid
it's underneath here.
It's like acid rain coming up from the ground and then down. on everything.
Exactly. And there would be sections of the ground that would just be completely black.
Yeah.
Because it had burned it out, and trees standing, and just this smell of like sulfur.
Yeah.
That like there's no comparison to it. And I thought about how weird that was and how commonplace, like, oh yeah, that's just Centralia. It's on fire.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing ecological disaster.
And that's not even like the bigger, like that's a big one, but also we had the Star tire pile. The Star
Oh, a
tire
tire
pile
fire?
was the largest tire, like it was thousands of acres,
Yeah,
or at least
yeah.
hundreds of acres of tires that this guy was just taking money to keep. And people would pay him to take the tires, so he'd take them. And he just kept piling them up and piling them up. And it was acres upon acres upon acres. And then, one day they just fucking lit up on fire. And there was just this huge,
Who could have seen that coming?
this huge plume of black smoke across the sky. And they were like, oh, yeah, the tires are on fire. And I'm telling you, this rural area, there wasn't a fire department. There was a volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
But like if you had something like that where it wasn't like life threatening, like, I mean, it is to like global life, I guess, but immediate life.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to take their time to get out there and try to put it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were like the two bigger weird ones, I would say.
Yeah. I'd
I'd have to think some more. I wish, because I'd ask my buddy Zane. He remembers a lot of that kind of stuff.
Well, the reason I bring it up is we've got a new urban legend on our hands. And this one is just in time for Halloween. So August 30th, the DEA issued a news release stating that brightly colored fentanyl pills, dubbed rainbow fentanyl by the news media, had been seized by authorities in 18 states. The DEA warned that, quote, this trend appears to be a new method used by drug cartels to sell highly addictive and potentially deadly fentanyl made to look like candy to children.
Kids don't have any money.
Who? Yeah.
Exactly.
What?
Kids don't have money.
Exactly. This is the DEA. The government's like, yes, that's why they're different colors, and it's not in any way a branding thing. No.
It's to trick children.
It's for children. No fucking meth people in New Mexico dyed their meth blue after Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. That didn't happen. It's not marketing. It's so we can sell them to people with no money. Which is like, it's always funny because you're like, oh, there's the youth market. It's like, oh, they're targeting kids. It's like they're targeting kids' parents who can beg them for stuff, and they're not buying them fentanyl.
Yeah.
They're targeting 36-year-old kitchen employees.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not crazy. The drug market hasn't changed because of fentanyl.
So that was at the
Does
end
your
of
back hurt? Do you like the appeal of a rainbow?
for most Americans, the answer to both questions, yes.
Yes.
Do you like colors?
Like colors? Does part of you have a unceasing pain? Okay. So that was the end of August. On September 20th, RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said, quote, Just last month, 2,000 pounds of fentanyl came across our border. That could kill 500 million people.
Whoa.
We're coming into Halloween, folks. Every mom in this country right now is worried. What if this gets into my kid's Halloween basket? The rainbow fentanyl. What if my teenager gets this and the Democrat Party is just ignoring it?
Oh my God. My God.
The Democrat Party is ignoring it because they have insurance and they can just get regular OxyContin like normal people. This doesn't affect Democratic people at all, really.
I would love
This is more of an independent issue.
I would love to have RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel sit down and just draw me a diagram of how it gets from the Mexican cartels into a Halloween basket.
Is this the origin of the "oh no, this is in my Halloween candy" meme?
No, we might.
No,
be.
that's been
I was gonna say
forever.
I was gonna say we might be getting there.
Well, the specific version that came out this year with the picture of the Reese's, and then you put something stupid in the.
I think they were.
That's
been
what
going
this is
around
from.
For, oh, is
Okay.
it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because I mean,
Oh.
I've seen that meme before.
Oh,
over
yeah.
I mean, that
years.
concept has always
Okay.
existed.
Oh yeah.
But
We're getting there. So quote,
Hell yeah.
So quote.
I can smell an internet thing coming a mile away.
Oh yeah. U.S. Representative Jerry Carl out of Mobile, Alabama, which great name.
Jerry Carl.
Jerry Carl.
Jerry Carl, independent insurance adjuster. Call me now if you're looking to get a better rate on your car, home, auto.
I am also a congressman. I can get you out of any hot water that might happen in international waters. So Jerry Carl, who was asked during a recent interview on Newsmax whether parents should be concerned about their kids trick-or-treating, said parents should search through the candy much like his mother did when he was young. Quote, I can remember my mother doing it when I was a child, and there were other fears of razor blades and stuff like that. Look, we got to be more aware as parents. We have to manage this as parents.
Doesn't this feel
I
like?
mean, it's like nobody found a razor
No,
blade.
they didn't. And that's the whole thing. You're
But
just like,
doesn't this feels like 100% like a goof among parents that they don't realize actually informs policy?
it's not even a goof amongst parents.
Like
It's
they're
a-
like,
it's
make
a-
sure you check his candy for razor blades, and I'm gonna take all them little bit of honeys
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Like you know that's where it starts because
Right.
they know there's nothing in it.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I think it's a goof from their grandparents that has just infiltrated their brains because he's like, I remember when my mom did this, and he doesn't circle the square of like and found nothing, and no one you know found anything.
and you didn't get any bit of honeys.
yeah, and your mom kept
But you
all the-
remember getting them.
your mom kept the weird
I counted 5 crackle bars that came in this bag.
your mom kept all the weird strawberry candies. The wrapper looks like
The
a strawberry.
bonbons.
Yeah,
Love
the
those.
bonbons.
The best candy.
And lest you think we're dogging on Republicans here, on September 25th, Chuck Schumer had a press conference saying he is seeking $290 million in funding specifically to fight the fentanyl crisis. Schumer held up pictures of candy and rainbow fentanyl saying, Halloween's coming up. This is really worrisome and
my
really
God.
dangerous. And you're like, at
No,
what
it isn't.
point does
No, it isn't.
this expensive street drug
It's very inexpensive. It's not expensive.
for a fucking child? I mean, unless we're giving kids that kind of I don't know what, if you're a parent out there.
It's just always the fears of like someone drugging your children. It's like, to what end? What is the point?
You
what
are more likely to drug the
what
children.
are you imagining is just the Joker, I guess?
Yes, the
like
Joker.
doing random chaos.
Yeah. The Joker dressed up as a CIA agent stationed in Taiwan. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So I was like looking into this. I was trying to find like the genesis of this, because this is literally, like you said, this is literally always a thing every Halloween of like, oh, they're gonna poison the children, and they're like, all right, when did this start? And apparently in the 60s there was a lady who hated Halloween and was tired of her trick-or-treaters, so she handed out bags of steel wool and rat poison.
Okay,
Absolute
that's
queen.
funny.
Absolute queen.
Yeah, absolute queen. And the rat poison was in the box, and it was labeled
Right.
rat poison. I'm not excusing this. It was dumb.
That's a good goof.
That's
Yeah,
but
sorry, that's funny.
I'm standing by steel wool. Steel wool's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you should.
It's funny that her whole approach was like what you do to a house to keep rats from burrowing in.
Yeah.
Steel wool and rat poison.
If you got time to trick or treat, you got time to trick or lean. I don't know. Fucking here's some steel wool, you little piece of shit.
Go stuff that in the eavesment.
But she got a commuted sentence, so that she did get charged with like endangering kids because he gave them boxes of rat poison.
That's one hell of a bro judge though, to be like, I get what you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
Look, it's
right?
funny.
I turned my light off. I don't want them coming by.
Right, yeah, I just turned my goddamn light off. It's fine. But the Halloween candy scare really got going in earnest in 1970. An op-ed on October 28th, 1970, in the New York Times suggested the possibility of strangers using Halloween trick-or-treat tradition to poison children. The editorial mentioned 2 unconfirmed incidents in upstate New York and offered a series of frightening rhetorical questions. The author, Judy Klimuzrad, wondered, for example, if that, quote, plump red apple from the kindly old lady down the block might have a razor blade hidden inside. Aha! So this comes straight from the fucking editor of a newspaper.
Some rhetorical question that ruined Halloween
Enemy
for
of the
40
people.
years.
Yeah. Or I guess not even, I don't even think she worked for the newspaper. Just some crazy woman writing it for the newspaper.
Which we do not stand. We do not stand her.
No. Give out Brillo pads if you're doing anything. That's hilarious, as we said.
Clean a steel pot.
I still think that's hilarious. Just
It's very funny.
Give them sponges. Give them shit to clean their house. Here's a toothbrush and some baking soda, you little shit.
Here's some Dawn power wash.
Here's some scrubbing bubbles. So some readers accepted her question as definitive fact. 2 days later, a 5-year-old child died on Halloween in Detroit after consuming a capsule of heroin.
That belonged to his parents.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Yeah. So early media reports, and this is how CNN puts it. It says early media reports of his death, and then you actually read the article, and it turns out it wasn't the media; it was the fucking cops. So CNN, a little propaganda here.
They probably wouldn't even touch the kid in fear they would have overdosed.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the big danger of fentanyl is you might throw it at a cop and he would explode.
It's funny that like
doesn't that not how it works?
it's not how it works
It's
at all.
physically impossible.
You cannot touch fentanyl and die and overdose from it.
Yeah,
because it's like literally you have to have people who are addicted to it inject it, and even they're not dying.
Yeah.
So,
but for some
really
reason,
makes you wonder.
So why would you touch it?
They're just having panic attacks.
Yeah,
that's it.
But anyway, this thing, it's like early media reports, and I'm like, I love that they would rather point the gun at themselves than at the fucking police. But anyway, according to this, early media reports of his death cited the uncle's claim that he had been exposed to the drug and tainted holiday treats. So the kid dies, and then his uncle is like, "Oh, it was the candy." Even though it was obviously, Uncle Scary. This case was widely reported as a real-life example of Halloween sadism, not nearly so widely circulated were the results of the investigation, which concluded that the boy had accidentally gotten into his uncle's heroin stash and poisoned himself, and that the family had sprinkled heroin on the kid's candy to protect
oh my
the
god,
uncle.
what psychos.
It's like, dude, this is just the worst people. But
What year was that?
that was
60s or something?
Yeah, so that was
That's just how people were there. You can make another kid.
yeah, that's 19
You can't make another Uncle Monica.
That's 1970. So when that happens, but
Weird 70s heroin family.
Yeah.
but by far the most famous case of Halloween candy poisoning was the murder of 8-year-old Timothy Mark O'Brien at the hands of his father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, in Houston, Texas. The child died at 10 p.m. on October 31st, 1974, as the result of eating a cyanide-laced pixie stick acquired while trick-or-treating. And to make his act appear more like the work of a random madman, O'Brien also gave poisoned pixie sticks to his daughter and 3 other children, but by some stroke of fate, none of the other kids ate the candy.
Yeah, because he's stuck.
Yeah.
That's because it's the worst candy.
It's funny, though, that it was like the Molly version of the pressed pill candy that he gave them. Don't do Molly, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, you're like just talking about like irresponsible moron and then trying to cover up his own dumbassery. And then the second guy is a psycho, and no one is debating that there's just fucking psychotic lunatics out there. Like, yes, of course. So I don't know why this becomes a thing.
In general, like crime is rarely random.
No, yes, exactly.
It's very often perpetrated by someone in your life.
Exactly.
Someone cool.
So the story of the Houston Candyman killer quickly metastasized, though it had no evidence. Newsweek magazine asserted in a 1975 article that over the past several years, several children have died and hundreds of a narrowly escaped injury from razor blades, sewing needles, and shards of glass put into goodies by adults. So again, they're just like, slow Newsweek, let's make some shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, post-Vietnam, news was a little. They were trying to make something out of nothing.
It had heightened too much before, and
Yeah.
then they were like, "Oh."
By the
Let's invent serial killers.
Also, I can't stop thinking about the brother-sister relationship of the uncle that a kid, her child takes that heroin, the uncle's heroin, and she's like, I got to protect my brother.
sprinkle the
Not my
heroin
5-year-old.
Yeah, you make another kid, but
My
you can't make an
loyalty.
uncle. I already said
my
this, Monica.
loyalty is with my brother.
Yeah. Please hand me that bucket of almond joys and the
I'm
heroin.
just saying that this relationship was weird.
was a good relationship and close, and what stories are written about.
By the 1980s, some communities had banned trick-or-treating, while hospitals in some metropolitan areas had offered to X-ray Halloween candy for razor blades.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like,
I remember hearing about that sometimes.
that can't be good for you eating
Yeah.
X-rays.
It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine. Eating X-rays are better than eating needles.
Yeah, it's not. They don't exist inside the candy. They don't stay there. They X-ray your whole body. It is stupid and a dumb waste of resources, but
In 1982, the governor of New Jersey signed a bill requiring a jail term for those tampering with candy. To date, no one has been charged with this.
oh, whoa, that's crazy.
In fact, in a 1985 study of 30 years of alleged poisonings, they did not find a single confirmed incident of a child's death or even serious injury at a random
You
thing.
are more likely to find candy in your drugs now.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. I mean,
You're definitely if you're buying powdered drugs, the odds are the pixie stick's been dumped in there. Pretty high.
I mean, hey, we're
Pretty high.
we're currently drinking it. It's beyond due.
The liquid gold.
On November 1st, 2015, the Gloucester, New Jersey Township Police Department responded to a home on Hillcrest Avenue in Blackwood for a report of Halloween candy that was tampered with. Officers arrived on location and spoke with a resident, Robert LeDrew, who reported that he had located 4 sewing needles and 4 separate pieces of candy from trick-or-treating on Halloween. It was discovered that he had posted photos of a needle and comments of the alleged incident on a Facebook page days prior to contacting the police. Additionally, there had been recent reports of alleged tampering of Halloween candy. So again, this is like
a lonely man trying to
it's
get attention.
just trying
This
to
is just like the lamer version of the guy that put the shrimp in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
yes, yeah. So
Oh man.
Wow, these were just here.
yeah, so
It does feel like normal people need AA.
yeah, buddy, yeah, absolutely.
They just need some kind of thing they can go to that's not religious.
That'll give them some attention.
You can get a little
Something.
piece of cake and
Yes.
a coffee.
something out there.
How's your week going?
And you all-
I did the needle thing like I was talking about, and I feel really good. I feel really good. I do. They did beat me because I did lie, but I feel to have contact with someone and to really feel like I made a connection with a group of guys really means a lot.
Does anybody else hear dirt bikes around you at all times?
Where'd you grow up? You don't talk much.
Yeah, there was this steam vent right outside my bedroom my entire childhood. I don't know. But yeah, all that is to say, parents listening, anytime you hear the DEA say anything, obviously,
Go ahead and
Listen to
ignore
him.
it.
go ahead and you see that grain of salt up there, go ahead and put that in there. And in fact, if you are going to do anything, if you are a person with a child out there, don't worry about the candy. On Halloween night, your child is twice as likely to be run over by a car. That is the actual thing that kills kids on Halloween. So put a fucking reflector on the kid if you're sending him out.
Yeah.
Like, very simple. Like, it's one of those things. Like, there's a bajillion articles about poison Halloween candy. And then there's like one from the National Transportation Safety Bureau
like,
being like,
hey,
statistically, the kid is way more likely to be run over by a car because they're wearing black in the dark and running across the road on a sugar high.
I know that this is maybe just like a city versus rural perception.
Yeah.
But do kids still trick or treat at houses? Because I was under the impression that
Suburbs.
it's far more popular for kids to trick or treat at like an outdoor mall
Yeah,
or something
well,
like that.
a lot
We used to do both.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of towns like Auburn, I know, does like a downtown
Right.
where they close the
Yes,
streets and
exactly.
the businesses give out candy.
Sort of related to this moral panic that like
Bingo.
it became way more popular for kids to trick or treat at businesses because
yeah.
there was like real accountability, I
We
guess.
can trust our brands.
Yeah, we can trust the
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
I was
that's
gonna name a
Shabby
store.
too chic candles.
We can trust the Stony Clover location here.
Yeah.
We have never had a trick or treater come to us.
Have you not?
I wouldn't answer the door. Yeah, you have to give them candy.
And by that we mean rainbow fentanyl. They are demanding the rainbow fentanyl. The thing that is way more
fentanyl. Can I please have rainbow fentanyl? And also, is it possible that I please have?
the thing that is much more likely to happen on Halloween as far as like funny urban legends things goes, mistaking a real dead body for a Halloween decoration, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Like I was like gonna just talk about the Halloween candy, and then I just started looking it up. I was like, oh, that happened in like Marina Del Rey. There was just a guy dead on his front porch for like a while.
Oh my
and
God.
people just were like, oh, what a spooky decoration. It was like, nope, that was
that
It's
guy
inflating.
died.
yeah, no, that was a 75-year-old man who'd been shot through the head.
Oh
Was
jeez,
just slumped over his front banister. Yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm not trying to leave the house on Halloween.
no, happy happy Halloween.
I fear the general public.
Look out, the candy man. Here he comes and he's gone again. Pretty lady ain't got no friend till the candy man comes round again.
Y'all, are you ready for our final segment of the evening?
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
well, this is our jam of the week, and I just want to give this little disclaimer. Due to my strong personal conviction, I wish to stress that this jam of the week in no way endorses a belief in the occult. That's right. It's Goddamn Thriller by Michael Jackson. Oh, you hear
Nice.
it? Oh, ringing out over that haunted, eternal Crescent City. Oh, it's so good. Quincy Jones produced in 1982. Video released December of 1983. This video has 852 million views and 400,416 comments on the YouTube video. And y'all found the best.
I cannot imagine commenting on a 30-year-old.
Jackson, the smartest guy to ever make music. Do not believe the allegations. He is not a zombie. He has never done the occult or zombies. The man was my idol, dude. You can't say stuff like that.
This is a similar character to the AA guy. Is it the same guy?
It's not the same. No. They're different guys. This is the kind of guy that's like smoking inside for no reason, even though you told him not to. He's wearing like a union jacket, but he hasn't had a job in like 30 years. He lives off his mom's disability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My old chemistry teacher asked me to cook meth with him.
I couldn't get it. I was not good at it. So he went with another guy.
So
Biggest mistake of my life was not reading them books like he said.
So let's get down to these comments, y'all. For Thriller by Michael Jackson in the spirit of Halloween. First up, Walter Lou Cota from 1 month ago. Why is my fucking Microsoft Cloud not responding since July 10th, 2022? It's a good question. I don't know, Walter. It's not the forum for this, but I've registered your complaint and passed it on to William Gates. So next up, Don Elias from 2 months ago. This is our childhood nightmares. The best of all.
Yes.
This is by far ... the best music video of all history.
Oh my God.
Not just the song. Is the video a masterpiece? Sorry, I'm drunk.
Don.
Don, get away from the keyboard.
Don, YouTube comments are maybe not the venue.
Next up, Will Goley from 1 year ago. This song is for my girlfriend, Robin Thompson,
He's dedicating it like he's the DJ.
because I'm so glad that Robin is doing well, and I'm worried about her. And
They're not in contact.
and
People are not in contact. I'm sorry, and
Thriller's a crazy fucking dance that I really need to try. And I need to show her that I can do this. And I need to show her I can do this song. And I hope and pray that she will please let me back into her life again.
Oh no!
So he's got to do the dance of seduction that is the Michael Jackson fucking
Thriller
zombie dance.
dance.
Yes.
can do the Thriller dance, you can get the fuck off my porch.
Will, I told you a million times, don't come back until you can Thriller across this dirt parking lot. Excellion, 1987, from 1 month ago. I saw this and Jurassic Park when I was a little boy. And
Just years, decade apart.
I
These two
love a
things.
nostalgic 30-year-old.
And, long story short, my cousins convinced me that raccoons were actually giant yellow giraffe-like creatures from Dr. Seuss books, and thus I was terrified to go outside because either a velociraptor, Michael Jackson, or giant raccoons would get me.
Okay, this is cousin scamming.
Yeah.
the highest order.
Yeah, they made me eat a cigarette, but you know what?
Well, this is more of it. S. Joe Auga from 7 months ago. When I was 13, my older brother dared me to slide down my roof on a Papa John's pizza box to this song. I broke my ankle.
All right, that does sound funny though.
So
Yeah.
evocative. I can picture it all.
Yeah.
I know what the house looks like. I know how greasy the box was.
Yep. I know there's a bend at the end of the stairs.
Yep, there was definitely pepperoni still in the box as they were sliding down. The garlic sauce went all over the broken ankle.
100%. Healing the ankles.
Kim Lee from 11 months ago. Aliens can shapeshift into humans / objects / animals.
Kim.
I wrote to Michael Jackson's family / fan club back in 2009. Was that fan club letter also thrown out by the celebrities? The CIA is afraid to bring Michael Jackson back to life
no.
because of a poor response from the crowd.
Oh no.
They don't know who to bring back to life. Maybe the lead singer from Linkin Park? I don't know. Madonna.
Those are the two options.
Two equal, very equal talents.
Equal effect on culture. Those two.
Madonna told me that a few people knew that people could be brought back to life in 2010.
Madonna.
You need to look at that meeting in the White House in September 2005 that quickly took place in the middle of the night because a torpedo was shot at my plane as I was leaving New York City from Arizona, and it seems as if the whole planet has just been watching me get mutilated hundreds of times, and then they see me walking around, and then a bunch of people knew that this could be done.
Oh no.
So this person's
not okay.
They got raised like Lazarus, and they saw as they were coming out of the Lazarus pit that the Linkin Park guy and Michael Jackson was behind them, and they never came out of the pit. What gives?
Oh no, this person.
Don't you think if the CIA could bring anybody back, it would be Madonna?
I mean, yes, yeah, absolutely. They at least bring back her American accent.
Yeah, or her old face.
Joke from 1999.
Love it.
How y'all doing?
Having a great time.
Bring back her old face.
Just deflate her current face.
Yeah, that grotesque mask she's wearing
It's so sad when people do that.
I mean, she's really scary looking now.
It's bad.
It's like people her age should not be completely flat face.
Yeah. It's okay to age.
It's okay to have some expressions.
VL from 1 year ago. I love Michael Jackson. My mom says my brother killed Michael Jackson because he was born on the day in 2009 when Michael Jackson died from drugs. I am so sad about Michael Jackson died. He died from drugs.
Yeah, he took a rainbow fentanyl.
He took a rainbow fin and went out, and it was actually because your brother was born. I love that the mom is telling the brother, "You're the reason. You're the reason I never got to see Michael at the O2 Arena."
This is a little window into
He used the word mum instead of mom, so I do assume this is a British person. So she probably
They
had
could
her,
be from Boston.
she probably had her fucking ticket ready to go for that This Is It tour.
Yeah.
And you fucked it up, you little piece of shit.
Wow, that's like bad Buddhism. Is what she's doing there.
Mean Buddhism.
Yeah.
Dang Gug from 3 years ago. My math teacher danced in this song in our school program, and I was astonished at how she could do those damn steps. She is the most strict teacher at my school, but while dancing, she was a cool-ass bitch. And I gotta say, dang, Gug.
I know for a fact that guy has a class ring. I know it. That just oozes class ring energy.
Oh, this one's real personal. Rolando Tokes from 1 year ago.
Hell yeah.
Holler to the drunk old lazy motherfucker Eric Hosley watching this while working at Automatic Distributors in Bangor, Maine.
Oh man, that is so funny.
he's
He's trying
literally
to get a guy fired.
He's watching a guy across the assembly line at this factory in Maine just be like, listen to a Thriller, you piece of shit, I'm gonna fucking see. Yeah. I think he's
man.
trying to like
It would be really funny. That's really funny to imagine that guy watching the video and seeing that comment all of a sudden.
that's what I think he
Yeah.
thinks is gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to egg the guy on.
But if he's watching on his phone, the comments don't pop up, you know?
They don't pop
No.
up, and he never saw that.
Yeah.
No.
And then that guy just knew he had like a real banger of a joke that he had to then a week later be like, "Did you see my comment?" And then have to show the guy who was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay,
funny.
oh yeah, I guess so."
That was crazy. All right. Got a couple more here. Hape Dice Divide 19 from 2 years ago.
Wait, what's the username?
Hape Dice Divide 19 from 2 years ago. So you know this is going to be coherent. The most scary part is that they are not actual zombies. They're real alive people. And yet, it's super convincing that if I didn't know that zombies don't exist in real life, I would believe that they were zombies. It's not the depiction of zombies that's terrifying. It's the dance moves that are terrifying.
Wow,
I just don't agree with him. They're not terrifying.
they weren't. I don't. Well, I think maybe for the '80s it was terrifying.
But this is a comment from 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest. This man mentally stopped growing when this video came out. This is like what PTSD does to people. They stop growing.
I also,
And
I mean,
this
it's been a
PTSD'd
long
him.
time since I have watched this video, but I don't have any memory of it being that convincing.
No.
All I can remember is Vincent Price is in it.
Yeah,
It's not like
the funk of 40,000 years.
it's not like 28 days later or something.
No,
And finally,
it's more like what's that? Oh shit! Sorry. Oh no! Just drove that one right into the ground.
no.
What's the movie with the jets and the sharks?
Oh, West Side Story.
Yeah, it's just zombie West Side Story. That's
Yeah.
what the video is.
And finally, Johnny Kennedy from 8 months ago.
What Kennedy?
Wow.
This song reminds me of my beautiful wife, Sarah. Miss Sarah Kennedy. I met her at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the ballroom.
These are real Kennedys.
Well, wait till you hear the next part. I met her at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the ballroom, dancing butt naked in geisha sandals. I married her on Halloween night, 1998, 23 years ago. 23 years of marriage. Congratulations on your wedding day.
This does sound like the
Mr.
behavior of real Kennedys.
Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Kennedy. He's talking about himself. Congratulations and happy Halloween from Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Kennedy with lots of Barbie dolls.
Yes, she exists, definitely.
She is not under a staircase as a skeleton.
She's not the concoction of some drunk guy's brain.
I assure you, this is the same guy suing Texas Pete. It's the same guy.
And that is Thriller by Michael Jackson, our jam of the week. Alex Luchun, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, nowhere. Leave me alone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is fine. What with this moment we've had, that's good.
It exists.
Good for you. Good for me.
Monica, where can people find you?
I'm Mighty Monica everywhere. It's Monica with a K.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And if you would like to support the show, the best way to do that, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Second best way to support this show, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show that attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have that attitude of gratitude, daddy, we are going to give you rainbow fentanyl. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.